Hello everyone, welcome back. I am kind of excited for this video today. I am going to be flipping through my very first bullet journal. I've never done a bullet journal before, so it's kind of a hot mess, but it's totally cool. I'm absolutely loving it. So this is actually what I have set up right now. This is a cover from Sojourner. The pen that I'm using right now is the Uni Jetstream. It's a ballpoint. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I really love that pen. And then as far as the cover goes, I just have this beautiful leather cover. I'm completely obsessed with it. It was one of the limited leathers from Sojourner. It's the purple with the violet blossom pocket. And I did choose to put the caramel elastic strap on it. So this is the current bullet journal that I have right now. I did do a setup video. I'll try and do the linky thing up there. I think it's usually up there. And then I basically just set this up starting in September. I've got my monthly, I do a week at a glance, and then I just do dailies. So usually how I do my dailies is I just do pen and just get everything out of my brain. And then at the end of the week, if I feel so inclined, or the end of the day, I'll go ahead and add a couple of little stickers here and there. So that is the beginning of this one, but the video we're doing today is a flip through of this one. And so I have a bunch of passion planners on my shelf. I used the dailies, which are also 3 months, and I hate not having the date ranges on there. So I just took a little sticky note from With Wool and Flax, and I just taped it on there. And so that way when it's on my shelf, I know exactly what date ranges it is. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. All right, so like I said, this was my very first bullet journal. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I actually had to look up some common bullet journal symbols. And so I put everything on a sticky note here. And then, you know, I kind of changed things throughout my bullet journal as far as symbols go. I was not very used to the X for a completed task. So later down the road, I was like, okay, X means not completed, because I didn't want to cross it out because I didn't actually want to just delete the task. And so I was not very consistent with this, but I tried. So in my brain, all of the symbols in here absolutely make sense. So I did start this bullet journal in May. I did my monthly view. And then in May, I kind of really didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So I just played around with a lot of different layouts. I did a week on 2-page, and then I did a week on 1 page with, this is kind of like the Hobonichi Weeks type of layout. You have your week schedule on 1 page, and then your other page here is just all of your to-do list and stuff like that for the week. And then I went even farther with the Hobonichi Weeks, and I just did the whole week on 1 page, and then I started my dailies. I really, really loved having dailies. I actually really miss having this type of detailed dailies where everything is kind of blocked out. So I've got all my habits, all of my cleaning and chores, all of my meals, notes that I've got down here, the daily tasks, and then all of my appointments. And so you'll notice throughout this entire journal, I kind of changed up my dailies quite a bit. But I think I might actually, in my new one, I might actually go to this, because as of right now, let me show you my new one. My daily is a timeline, but it's hard because I also really like my timeline. So I don't know. I look back on this and I'm like, oh, this worked so well because I just had my appointments in one spot and I knew exactly where to go, and I didn't have to worry about highlighting everything on my timeline. So I don't know. Now I'm feeling kind of like I need my detailed dailies back instead of my timeline. And then I've got a new week here. This week I kind of didn't really get into my daily tasks very much. And so I just put a bunch of stickers just to fill up some space. We went on a road trip at the very beginning of our summer, the day after my kids got out of school. So this is just kind of where we went on these days and just a little memories here and there. So it wasn't really used as an actual planner. It was just used for what we did those days. And then I've got my June monthly here. And then another Hobonichi Weeks inspired type of layout here. And then my dailies started here as well. And then this is actually one of the weeks. So you'll notice When I first got this book, I tried to plan out everything, and I did pencil writing of what days everything was going to be, because I was like, well, I've never done a bullet journal. I need to figure out how long this whole thing is going to last me. And I never even erased my days. I just noticed that. But this week I used some stickers from With Wool and Flax that were her little bullet journal kit. And these are all the day of the week stickers here. And then also at the beginning of the week, these are her bullet journal ones as well. And then this is a week setup, and these stickers are from Being Bethany Rose, and I used one of her kits. I think it was one of her daily passion planner kits that I used. And so I've got all of this in here for my week. And then, oh, look at that. I just went from Sunday to Monday. I didn't even do a week at a glance on this one. And so you can see, as my first bullet journal, is definitely not, and I did split weekends here, it's definitely not consistent. I definitely played around a lot with trying to find my flow, trying to find the style I liked. And then I came to this. School was out. We didn't have that many appointments, and so I didn't really feel the need to have an hourly timeline or feel the need to have, where did it go? This kind of detailed daily. And so I tried just a weekly, and I have to tell you, I really liked it. I liked having everything on one page or in one spread, but the biggest complaint that I had is I write too much. And so, you know, here I can just write take out meat instead, but I wrote the details of which meat to take out. I did all my weather down here. And so I really liked it because I could see everything, but I just felt like it looked too cramped. And it gave me a little bit of anxiety looking at it. And so then I tried to do a different weekly layout because, again, I liked being able to take a glance and just see everything in one spread. And so I tried to change the actual layout of it and how I wrote things down. But in the end, I just went back to my dailies. So, you know, it's a learning curve, just trying to figure out what works for you. And some weeks too, I changed. I mean, look at this. I don't even think I used my planner much these days, but I'm okay with that. So I've got these all blocked out here because these were the, what is it called? The journal prompts that Passion Planner had. They had that Passion Planner 30-day journaling challenge. And I actually did it in my bullet journal. And the reason I clipped them together is because I don't always look back on my journaling, especially like my process journaling or my working through emotional journaling. I don't always look back on it because sometimes it'll trigger a little bit. And so I just kind of clipped everything together. And then this is the next week, Monday the 12th. I don't even know what month this is July. And so these are kits from the Paper Planner Dude. And so I bought some of his kits when he had a sale. They fit so very well in here. These are actually the kits that are made for the Erin Condren Daily Duo, but they fit in here so nicely. I really, really liked them. I liked having my priorities here as well. And so I've got all of that. And then I just had this random extra page because I didn't do my week at a glance. And so I just drew. Oh, and then this was me writing down notes for one of the custom cover orders that I did from Maria over at Bujo Planner. And so that was my notes on what I wanted for that. So then I went back into my next week. I brought back my week at a glance, which just mentally helps me a ton. And then I continued with the daily spreads. Again, this is another kit from the Paper Planner Dude. And then this is a kit from Being Bethany Rose. And then these sticky notes, guys, I absolutely love these sticky notes. They're huge. They're just like a regular size sticky, but it's got all these cute little tabs on it. And so I could easily just put it here and just write some notes. And when I close my journal, I've got tabs. I love tabs. Oh, look, I even have a tab here. Okay, so anyway, sorry, a sticky note drama. But these sticky notes are from Mom Agenda, and I just love them. And then I've got, let's see. This is my August monthly that I drew out. I wrote some goals down here. First day of school for my kids. Oh, that was a hard one because my kids did remote learning in 2020, and that was, man, that was a rough year for so many people. But my son started kindergarten this year, so that was definitely like a, oh my gosh, type of day. And then this is the week at a glance and the daily logs for that week. And then these stickers are from Being Bethany Rose here. This is a sticker from Live Love Posh, one of her sticker books. And then this cute little sticker here is from Dolce Planner. And these are more Being Bethany Rose stickers. And then this is another Dolce Planner kit here. You can see, so this is the week that school started, and I knew that it was going to be insane, so I didn't even actually draw out, like, I didn't even take the time to draw my stuff. I was like, I'm just going to just write things down, and we're just going to figure it out as we go. And so this week was a lot messier because it was just so much that we needed to do. And then, let's see, we're in August still here. And so once I kind of got into July, I kind of found my groove with the hourly timeline, and especially in August when my kids were in school, I really needed the time blocking because as a full-time parent, I needed to know what times I had to do certain tasks. And so I don't utilize timelines on the weekends very often, but timelines help me a lot during the day. And then August was the last month that I did in here. And so I ended up having, hang on here, 162 to 1. So I ended up having about 30 extra pages. And when I laid it all out, like when I did it in my brain, I didn't have enough for a whole nother month. And so I just decided to leave these extra 30 pages blank because I didn't want a partial month in a new book or in 2 separate books. And so I just started my September in this new book. And then I've not set it up in my new book yet, but I did end up putting a future log in the very back of this one because I hated not having the entire year with me when I was doing all of my scheduling and stuff. But that was it. So that was my very first bullet journal from Passion Planner. This is the grid A5 size in black. They also have it in green. I did rip out the ribbons, so that's why the spine here kind of looks a little funky, but it got a little bit chunky and it's a little bit fluffy, which I super love. That's part of the reason I really love softbound planners, is because I love the chunk and the lived in look to it. But now we're moving on to this bad boy here, and we've got my September set up, and then we're rocking and rolling through here. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you kind of enjoyed my little messy finding my flow type of thing. The nice thing about bullet journaling is you can change it as you need it. It doesn't always have to be the exact same layout every single week, every single day. And I've actually really liked that for what I'm using everything for. I really enjoy bullet journaling because it can change so much. You can make it creative. You can make it super simple and plain. And it's just, I don't know, it's just so flexible. There's just something so special about it. It does take a little bit of time to kind of draw everything out. But like I said, there was that one week in August where my kids started school. I didn't even draw out my weekly thing. I just started writing things down because I knew that I didn't have time that week to do anything. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment down below. If you do bullet journal, let me know what books you also use, because like I said, Passion Planner was the very first book I'd ever used. I haven't tried any of the other ones. I know there's a ton of books out there for bullet journaling. So let me know what book you use down below, and I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably buy it just to check it out because I love paper. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys later. Bye.